CouncilCast number 2 for the week of February 5th, and today I am joined by Anthony, Jerry, and Matt, and possibly Lucas later. So tonight we're going to be talking about games, tech, and bullshit. So, I guess that's a pretty good way to start it off compared to last week, which was absolutely terrible.
It wasn't terrible.
It wasn't?
I don't think so.
I think we could do a few things different from last week.
So this BlackBerry looks like every other device that exists already.
Okay.
Except it's not as functional.
Yes. So, are you actually reading the review yet?
I'm skimming through it.
So basically, I guess we'll jump into the BlackBerry 10 stuff. But you're right. I think that the device looks like shit, and a lot of the
It doesn't look like
reviewers.
shit.
It doesn't look like anything special. It's nothing special.
Well, it doesn't have to be special. It just has to be functional.
No, it has to be special.
What?
If it is going to revive,
customers over, then yeah.
It needs unicorns and rainbows.
exactly. I mean, if this is going to be BlackBerry's revival device,
Well, I don't know that they can have a revival device. They've fallen so far that I don't know if there is any coming back.
Well, but they're still a company. They still want to make money. How are they going to make users without a device that is going to woo users to their platform?
I understand that.
Get out of devices and make software.
Who said their software is any better?
It's not.
So what are the points on this thing? What are they pushing as the you should move from iPhone and Android?
It's a BlackBerry.
Well, that's okay. So the biggest feature I would say about BlackBerry 10, from what I have gathered, is their peak functionality. Which, so first of all, there's no buttons on the phone. There's no soft keys. There's a couple hard keys, obviously for power, volume.
Most of the devices are heading that direction anyway.
Which is fine, but they don't even have persistent like on-screen home or back buttons or something like that. It's all gesture driven. So they have a function that's called peek where you can like do this weird funky slide your thumb up and hold, and on the left side of your screen it's supposed to pop out like this little peek notifications where it'll list like email, text messages, Twitter, Facebook, blah 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 blah, and give you just an icon that says, hey, you've got messages over here. And then you can kind of slide that over. And
how's that different from any system that exists now as a notification system? It's just, I mean, it's just another notification system, just done a different way.
Well, that's it.
I mean, that in and of itself doesn't say, oh man, I really want a BlackBerry now.
Well, it's supposed. From what I've gathered, the idea is it's supposed to allow people to get a quick look at what their notifications are and then act on them. The problem is apparently a lot of
stuff now.
Well, yeah, but this is supposedly faster.
Everything's faster.
But from what
it doesn't look like a terrible device. The software looks relatively modern.
It looks, but it doesn't function like a modern OS. Well, I mean, more
so I
modern.
guess my big question is, so BlackBerry was fucking huge before Android and iOS.
Yes.
Will this device
Save them.
not save them. Will this device make people that were Android and iOS, or that were BlackBerry before and have since switched to Android and iOS due to relatively no other options, will this woo them back to BlackBerry?
Probably not.
I think what this is going to do is it's going to take the BlackBerry users who are very frustrated with their current BlackBerry devices and give them the actual smartphone option that Android and iOS does. So it might keep their customer base rather than grow it.
Right.
Why
It's basically
won't this woo people that went from BlackBerry to the other platforms?
you what?
Why won't this steal those BlackBerry users that switched to the others for lack of options?
Because
Well,
they just switched. I
We
mean,
already
yeah.
found a better device.
Yeah, but they were I guess if they had a BlackBerry because that was the only option because it was their business phone, or they got locked into it through that.
if people are BlackBerry lovers, they're going to probably love this phone and they're going to buy it. If
Right.
you were-
I was gonna go towards. Okay, so tomorrow, Palm reveals that holy crap, we're back in business, and they
With
say,
that.
"All right, we're gonna release this phone with the new WebOS." I'm willing to bet Blaine's head would fall off his shoulders,
Blaine would be standing in line.
even though he's been forced to a different platform already.
And yeah, and I will agree that's true, but that's because I'm still a lover of WebOS, and if you are still a lover of BlackBerry, you probably would go back. The hardest part is you're going to have to rebuy your apps because it's another ecosystem.
Yeah.
And not all the apps are
everybody's-
available.
Right. Not all the apps are available, plus people are going to already be locked into their current contracts.
What do they develop in?
QNX?
That's the name of the language.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know anything about BlackBerry development at all.
They actually have Flash in their browser, though. If that makes anything
That's
good.
fine. Where's my search thing here? I want to search on the page. Jerry, help me with my Surface.
I don't know how to work your subpar operating system.
It's not subpar. It's actually delightful.
So what does
Delight.
Jerry think? Would Jerry buy a BlackBerry?
At least the Surface doesn't crash when you type in file ://.
It just crashes randomly on its own.
Maybe if you wouldn't hack the registry to get a full version.
None of us are BlackBerry users, so I don't necessarily feel we're qualified to talk about BlackBerry users anyway.
No,
Well-
but I think it's still kind of interesting.
I'm
I
not
actually-
interested in it because I'm interested in the Android things and more recently Windows Phone.
I think that the Android stuff on BlackBerry is going to be a pile of shit and it's not going to work worth a crap.
That's not what I'm talking about.
Well, see, I guess my interest comes from our business was the company I work for was solely BlackBerry, and they just started switching people to the S3, and there's still only maybe a fourth or a fifth of our company base that is switched over. So if they're gonna maybe look to going to BlackBerry 10, or they're gonna keep pushing the
I'm
S3.
willing to bet that whoever manages your IT infrastructure is happy as hell that they're not using BlackBerry anymore. Because the BlackBerry management for corporate environments is a bitch.
Oh, I could imagine.
I don't know.
And
I have no
pricey.
idea.
I don't know why I keep going to my computer to look at the topics. I can do it on my tablet. But
I don't know. I would actually be willing to look at a BlackBerry 10 device. However, after reading through a lot of the reviews, it doesn't sound like anything that is worth it. It's very Gen 1. It's very kind of beta-esque in the way that software is run. I really like the idea of the gestures, and I like the idea of the peak
well, we know you like
notifications.
gestures.
But I don't see, from what I've read, I just don't see BlackBerry offering anything that is of any significance compared to what I currently am using on Windows Phone.
It's just it's too little, too late.
To quote what's already there.
Is that what it says?
No, I don't know. I think that's what a lot of
Probably.
people are saying, though. You're right.
Well, yeah. If this would have came out, 5 years ago, they would have been competitive in keeping up with the conversion to what smartphones are now. But everybody is already on, the third generation of their phones in this kind of phone style, and they're just coming out with one that, like you said, is more beta-esque, so a
Right.
bit behind.
A lot of it is really half-baked, and yeah, I think you're right. I think if they did come out with this even a year ago, I would say, if they got in there before Windows Phone 8 launched, they could have maybe had a little bit stronger foothold, but actually, one interesting thing is with BlackBerry 10 launching, the oldest mobile operating system is now iOS. What do you think about that, Jerry?
I think my iPhone 5 is fantastic.
I think that
That was
age
Apple.
doesn't. I think that age doesn't necessarily have anything to do with it.
Well, but what do you think of when you look at the iPhone interface, the app grid?
Me?
Yeah. Does it look like a new and fancy operating system anymore?
It doesn't need to be new and
Define
fancy.
new and fancy.
It's fine.
Does it look modern?
Well, I don't. It doesn't define looking modern. That's all just a style choice.
Well, yeah, exactly. And what's popular is what people want to buy.
Yeah.
I'd rather buy something that works than something that looks pretty.
What
Well,
about
that's
the
fine.
That kind of goes against Apple's product base.
What are we looking at?
Nothing. I'm just highlighting.
The Office 2010 or the Surface Pro?
Surface Pro launch.
So, I guess that's a good point. The Surface Pro did come in, I guess, this year, or just this week, I guess.
They're not selling yet, though.
Supposedly a few review unit or store display units have showed up, but
Yeah, but that doesn't mean I can go buy one.
They don't go on sale until what, Saturday or something like that?
I thought it was the 14th.
Is it the 14th? I thought it was this week or something.
Are you looking it up?
Are you?
No.
I'll look it up. I mean, there's a lot of reviews that have been coming out already for it. February 8th.
No, it is.
Yeah,
So
it's
Friday.
Friday, because the 9th is when we play Kansas State.
Right. So I guess it's a good point. I mean, there's a lot of reviews coming out. What are you looking forward to it in, considering you already have a Surface RT?
I was originally going to buy a Pro on launch day, but I don't think I'm going to now.
For?
Even though I still would really like one. They are expensive, but I have my laptop and the tablet, and I
still think
I can wait. Like I have no need to spend the money on it right now until my laptop dies. Then because I would buy it as a laptop replacement.
Right. I would still say that as a laptop replacement is rarely where that should be geared towards. That's the key statement, I think.
That's why I like it. Because I would have really liked to have it when we go to California, because then I could play all my Steam games on the flight and everything like that. But
Well, except for the battery lasts only 4 hours.
well, the flight's not going to be 4 hours. It's going to be like 3.5.
While playing games.
Yeah. Where the hell is Dave?
Granted, you can't use it while you're taking off and landing, so that cuts off.
That cuts out like a half hour of your
Dave
trip.
has muted his video.
Dave just wants to be here.
Apparently.
I just want to hear what's going on.
But no, I really like. I know the build quality is going to be fantastic because I have a Surface and it's one of the more well-built devices I've seen. I mean, I think it's better built than the iPad is. Don't kill me, Jerry.
Well, I think
all those people that drop stuff.
I launched my Surface off my bed the other night because my headphones were plugged into it and I was in a hurry because we were playing Chivalry. And I ran upstairs. I ran upstairs, grabbed the headphones, and grabbed them off my bed and started to run out the door. And as soon as I felt the weight on the end, I knew exactly what it was. I was like, "Ah, crap! My Surface is plugged into that," and it went flying off the bed and bounced around on the floor and hit the wall. It was fine, not a scratch.
Yeah, I've dropped my iPad a few times and my iPhone.
Thinking about getting
I've never
for it and making it a skateboard.
Else pulls it off.
Like the ad video.
Yeah, I think that'd be pretty sweet.
I don't know. Company I work for is really excited about it. Not the Surface Pro, the whole that platform, those types of devices, like what the Surface Pro is forcing. More specifically, the ThinkPad 2. Is that what it's labeled? I think the IBM ThinkPad 2.
Probably.
And I really like the looks of that one too because I know with the Surface Pro you can get like Verizon wireless dongles or whatever your carrier is. You could get something like that to be able to get internet wherever on it.
Right.
But the ThinkPad 2 will come with it internally if you buy it with it, which will be really awesome. And because of the type of work that we do, we want data collection devices and stuff that you can still use out in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
So that kind of thing is really, really appealing, and I like that kind of thing too. And having a pen is like really important to me for like note-taking abilities and stuff like that. I really want a Pro to have at work just so I can take notes on it with a pen, with an actual digitizer.
Well, I think that's an interesting idea because you can even see the way that like the Galaxy Notes have taken off. I mean, everyone when those came out were like, "Why the hell do you put a pen with your phone or with your tablet?" And I think that's actually one of the key selling points now is to use the pen on the tablet so you can get better handwriting recognition.
I watched somebody where I used to work take notes on their iPad. It looks like it sucks.
What, with their finger?
No, with a stylus.
The problem is you have to get the right.
It's going to be way better with a pen and an active digitizer.
Totally different.
Like you can't beat it.
The
Well, that's the problem.
ThinkPad 2 is a RT device. It is not a full.
What is?
The ThinkPad 2. It's an Atom-based.
Hello?
It's an ARM-based device.
What are you doing?
What do you mean? What am I doing?
Blade?
Yeah.
Why did everybody stop talking?
Dave was talking.
Can Matt not hear
I
me?
can't hear him, man. It's
Can you not?
I can hear him fine.
I
what?
can hear him.
Then mine's broke. Let me get out of here and come back.
Just
I
Matt's
can't
broke.
see Dave or Jerry on my screen.
Yeah, I can see them both.
Yep. You
Should have came down here. Should have
No,
came
this
down
Must
here.
be because you have a Surface.
No, I don't think so.
He's on his Mac.
That's true. He is on his Mac, Jerry.
I'm on mine. It's just fine.
But I don't know. What do you think, Anthony? Surface Pro, yay, nay?
I'm actually looking at something similar. I was looking at the Asus Transformer or the Surface Pro. Kind of same kind of design. Because I currently don't have a laptop and I haven't had one for the past basically 4 years.
I'll say mine.
Right.
And I want something that I can just sit in the living room and browse stuff, but also simultaneously be able to take to work and actually use there. And I've been looking into both with pen inputs to take notes, so I can stop using pads of paper on a daily basis.
The Surface Pro is going to be pretty good. If you want to sit there and browse on the couch, it's going to be pretty heavy.
Yeah, but see, I kind of want that duality with it. It would be capable of just sitting on the couch and browsing, but still be able to.
But you could
Function.
still take it and set it on a desk and snap in your keyboard and be able to go all or plug in a USB keyboard because, wow, USB ports on a tablet. Who would have thought that was a genius idea?
I know.
Oh, here we go.
So that's kind of. I'm looking at those, and I just have to get the money first.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I do think price-wise it is a little expensive, especially if you start
It's
throwing
steep.
in.
But compared to
brand
other
new.
devices with the same specs, it's actually fair.
Right.
Yeah.
I just think that whole region is a little bit steeply priced.
I mean, it's hard to price it though because
But not by
is it
much.
a tablet?
It's only like $100. Like if it were $100 cheaper,
Oh yeah.
I think the best thing they could have done is packaged the touch cover or something cover with it instead of charging you the extra $100. Throw the cover in it, and then it's like you're getting $100 for free, and whether you discounted another $100 or not,
That still helps.
it at least helps a little bit because it kind of
Touch
sucks
cover.
to go in and yeah, exactly. I mean, you're not going to buy it without buying a touch cover, pretty much,
yeah,
at minimum.
at least. I don't know. If I bought the Pro, I mean, I already have a touch cover.
Right.
So I actually liked I wanted the touch cover a little bit just as the cover for it. I don't use the keyboard on it a lot. I was when we were at Buffalo Wild Wings the other night, though.
Oh, you took it to Buffalo Wild Wings?
Last
with you?
night,
I wanted
actually.
to sit there and refresh the Reddit thread while we were watching the basketball game.
Oh, I didn't realize you actually had that with you at the time.
Yeah, that's how I saw you post right away.
I thought you were on your phone at the time.
No.
So I guess we got Pat jumping in here too now.
There we
Hey,
go.
Pat.
Woo!
What's going on?
He's
So,
probably muted. Does he know it?
Yeah, he might be muted.
It muted me by
purpose?
default when I came in.
So, Pat, do you have any words on the Surface Pro before we wrap it up here? No. Well, I guess going off of the Surface Pro, though, let's jump into the Office 2013 being kind of related there.
I don't know anything about this stuff.
Well, I mean, it's pretty simple. Office 2013 came out. Microsoft is offering basically two different versions. You can buy your typical one license, one machine license, just like you've been doing with Office for the past forever, for $140. Or you can buy a subscription for $99 a year, plus that nets you the install for up to 5 machines. Same software, same everything. You get all the cloud storage, all that good stuff, but different pay schemes.
So almost every single document I ever write now, I write in Google Docs, which is free. I think everything non-work related I do in Google Docs. The only thing that I haven't done in Google Docs in the past probably 2 years is my resume.
And you wrote that at work.
Well, see, I say I would say
got written at Wells Fargo when I was getting laid off.
I mean, Pat says that he still uses Word, and I would agree with him. I almost always exclusively use a dedicated Office product unless I am writing up something to share with a group of people.
The biggest reason for me to have Word is to be able to open the stuff that other people have.
Yeah.
Right.
And send.
I don't know. Everything I do for my own personal use, I always fire up Office. I'm not going to load up a web browser. I'm not going to load up Google Docs. I'm not going to load up SkyDrive or whatever.
I don't do much personal typing at home, I guess, that isn't programming.
Right. I mean, but what if you're not doing typing, though? What if you're using a spreadsheet or something like that? I mean, actually, that's more what I would use at home. It's not so much Word, per se, but a spreadsheet application.
I use
whatever.
All of my budget spreadsheets and everything are in Google Docs, because then I can get them wherever. I know that you can do that with Office 2013 now, because it went to the cloud.
Right. That is one of the features. You do get 25 gigs, I think, of SkyDrive.
That's pretty substantial.
So you do get a little bit of storage in the cloud. You sign in with your Microsoft account, and everything gets synced up automatically, as far as I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess personally, I'm kind of with Blaine. And it could just be that I haven't converted myself to it, but I still use Word and Excel. And, well, I mean, in school it was PowerPoint a lot as well, but...
Right. I would say one of the biggest problems I have with using Google Docs is the formatting. Honestly, it sucks.
If it was better, I think it would have had me at a full conversion. But there's things that I do on a very daily basis that I can't do in Google Docs,
Right.
which limited me. PowerPoint is the devil, says Pat. I kind of agree, but with school, it was the simplest and best form of.
However, have you also tried to make a presentation in Google Docs? Good luck with that.
I've never tried.
I have, and it sucks.
It's terrible. It's way worse.
Oh no!
The biggest problem I have is just paying for... I mean, me personally, I have one computer that I want to install Office on. I really don't want to be paying $99 a year for up to 5 machines because I'm not going to get my use out of it. I'd rather pay $140 and use Office 2013 for the next 5 years instead of paying $500 for 5 machines that I'm only going to install it on one.
Is it a floating license?
If you remove it from one computer, it would free up a license, yes.
What defines remove it? Like, say my computer crashes. Can I log into my stuff on some other computer and hit deactivate this machine?
You should just be able to over-install it, shouldn't you? If you just install it on a new device, as long as the old one doesn't try to use it, you should be fine.
Well, it depends on how they implemented those checks.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know, I guess, is the answer.
That's something I would care about because I don't want to. I mean, I build a machine every year and a half. I don't want to have to buy Word every single time. Every single time.
Well, see, it actually in that case, if you're rebuilding a machine every year, though, because the software is actually going to be tied to your Microsoft account, or it can be tied to your Microsoft account, I would assume that you would just log back into the Microsoft Store. You would go ahead and download Office, and it would be right there.
So what's the difference between is the 2013 and all that's Office 2013? All of that is. I mean, you install the application and use it. It's not like you have to open up the web browser like you do in Google.
Correct.
But so what's stopping me from just using the Office installation I have now and just saving everything to my SkyDrive and effectively achieving the same thing, just less streamlined?
Nothing, and actually, that's what I actually do right now. I mean, I have SkyDrive installed on my computer. I use Office. I'm still on 2007, and I just save my stuff straight to SkyDrive.
Is there anything else fancy that comes with your 2013 purchase, like a mobile version that you can use on your Windows Phone?
No, because you actually already have Office for free built into Windows Phone.
Just like the RT.
Just like the RT.
So yeah, here's my Microsoft Office. I don't need it on my damn computer. I'll just plug this thing in and throw it on a monitor.
Well, actually, you see that's a good point. You know, that's one of the selling points for an RT, though, too.
Well, most people don't want to spend $800 or whatever this thing costs, $700.
Right. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just find I personally would find it hard to pay $99 a year. If I had a family or something, multiple computers that I actually wanted to install it on, I could see it being a lot more useful. However, I just
look at everybody moving to software as a service. $99 a year, Steam, Netflix.
Well, yeah. I mean, software is a big deal, so I guess you hit on Netflix.
Yeah, I want to talk about House of Cards. This looks, if it's what I think it is, it looks interesting to me.
Have you watched it yet?
No.
I've been told to watch it.
How do I pirate it?
It's on Netflix.
I know, that's why I said that.
Do you guys, know what the deal is with it?
Do a brief
fact that
explanation.
There's no set schedule, right?
So
Comes out all at one time.
they've recorded everything and they've dumped it onto Netflix. There's, I don't know how many episodes there are, but 20 episodes or whatnot. And they were all recorded. They had dumped them all at one point in time, and you can go and watch them right now straight through. No commercials, no breaks, no nothing.
Which, you know what? That is exactly how I want my TV shows.
Yep.
Right.
That's why almost every TV show I watch has already run its course.
And I would agree. I think that's a very good way to do it. Maybe not for everybody.
It is for me, because I'm not... My schedule's so whacked out that I don't want to be tied to a network's schedule. I don't want to have to be home at X time to watch Y show.
Right. I mean, people do say, there are DVRs and stuff out there that you can do the same thing with, but
it's not the same. It performs the same function, but you have limited space, blah, 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 all that stuff.
Right. I mean, you are kind of stuck with still living by a little bit of a schedule, though, too. I mean, the nice part is if it launches on Netflix and it's right there, you could watch multiple episodes one night as well. You still don't have to wait a week between every episode. Which means you don't have cliffhangers, which means you also aren't limited. Interesting thing I read is because of the way that it's done on Netflix, because you don't have to pay attention to any broadcast schedule or anything, they could do episode lengths of any time frame that they wanted. 40 minutes, 45 minutes, a full hour, anywhere in between. there's really no rules for what they can do or can't do.
Well, and another thing to think about too, along with that, on kind of redefining how you would create a show, is you don't have to leave every episode on a cliffhanger or something to make you come back. Because if it's just maybe it could be like an intermission between two episodes where, you're kind of in the middle of something, but it's not super important, but they just wanted to wrap it up right there. People are still going to continue watching. It's not like you have to wait a week to pull people back in. They just click the next episode and you keep going.
Maybe.
I mean, it could redefine something like that.
Well, and in a similar line, you could do much more in-depth timelines at the same time because you don't have to not only reintroduce the timeline, run the timeline, and do a closer to the timeline. You can just keep going straight through the episode.
It would be more of a movie style,
right,
versus a TV show.
Does anybody know what the production cost for this thing was?
I don't know. I know that Kevin Spacey funded a lot of it.
But I'm on the side with Matt though. Like, this is how I watch TV. We don't turn our TV on in this house unless we're watching some form of sport.
Right. And I'd say, even going to doing online cable cutting, even that's going to be the hardest problem. Is sports.
Yeah.
I mean, I do it right now, but I mean, I don't get my sports, which is sometimes a problem.
Yeah. Same.
No, I think it's a great idea. This is exactly how I want to watch TV. Not necessarily through Netflix, but this is exactly how I want to watch TV shows.
Well, I mean, typically when shows release like this, or like a typical show, everything's filmed, everything's edited, everything's done.
Well, but they just incrementally release.
Exactly.
You're coming back every week with your hangers at the end, if that's your style of show.
And yeah, I just, like you said, I'm kind of more of I would rather almost power through it, get done, and then go on to something else. And still enjoy it just as much, except that leaves me free to not watch multiple things at one time, multiple shows. I can just watch that single show and stay focused on it, just that, versus going between, House of Cards and then watching, like, Fringe, and then watching something else.
That's a good question. Pat has a good question. Will Redbox have the instant TV shows like House of Cards?
So I just looked that up, and I mean, Redbox is obviously trying to be a competitor. They've announced their instant stuff powered by powered by Verizon, I should say. But
good.
what they're saying
that.
is they currently do not have any TV shows lined up to be on the service. They're kind of looking to go, from what I can tell, straight movies right now.
I guess my question is, are they going to take shows like House of Cards, and is Netflix going to punch out the DVDs for those? Say you live out in the boonies and have heard a crap ton about the show, but you can't get internet connection. Am I going to be able to go to Walmart and buy the DVDs for that?
I would say no, because why would they want to do that?
Right. The whole point is they're trying to cultivate this even more, like, bigger streaming business like this. I don't know.
I mean, they want to be in the streaming. It's obviously costing them probably a little bit more money if they were to even stamp the DVD. It costs them money to ship the DVDs. Plus, if they were to actually stamp and produce and ship them out to a reseller who would take a cut of that DVD sales.
I would like to see... Well, we're going to get to see people. Who are we waving at? I couldn't tell who it was. Is it Kelly? I can't see. It's really tiny, Pat.
That's Kelly.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, I guess we've pretty much covered kind of why Netflix wants to do that, but I mean, along the same lines.
Will it flop? What have the viewing numbers been like? Have they released any of that?
Let's see. Okay, so House of Cards was $100 million investment. And they made 26 episodes, which is an average of $3.8 million an episode.
Okay.
And in order to even break even, they would have to have 520,000 people sign up for an $8 subscription.
Right, to break even, because to break even
For
on
2
that
years.
shit, you have to pull people to Netflix that want to watch the show that weren't subscribing before. Or
Right.
I don't know how you measure it, but you can count the people that stayed because of it, that were planning on leaving. But that's how the hell do you quantify that without sending out a survey and expecting them to answer? Or
Right.
people that already have like a DVD service and see about this show and they say, "Oh man, I got to get the streaming now too because I want this."
Right. I mean, I don't know. I would say that Amazon or Netflix is in it for streaming only. They only care about their streaming customers. Um,
And their DVD rental is their legacy
yeah.
part of the company, and I mean,
I just
I
don't.
agree.
It would be hard, I see, for them to try and make money off of this. I mean, it's evidenced by them losing money or not.
They haven't released viewership numbers though yet, have they?
Of who viewed House of Cards, I don't believe so.
So somebody typed Blaine is an ass.
That was Dave.
That was Dave. Wow, Dave, you're so constructive. I'm really glad to have you here.
That
That
was
was after he banned me from the chat.
Yep.
I didn't ban
Muting
you from
everybody.
chat.
Yeah,
I
you
banned
did.
you. I banned you from editing the spreadsheet.
Initially, you banned me from the chat,
All I did was boot you.
and it said I couldn't rejoin because I had been banned from the chat
But then you rejoined later.
because you.
Well, how about to get back on topic? I'm gonna kind of read
Yeah.
what Pat said.
Yeah.
Pat's asking like Redbox as a substitute.
Or as a subscription is what I think he's
Oh.
trying to say.
Redbox as a subscription.
I would say I believe, as far as I know,
Oh,
is that
sorry.
it's going to be subscription based.
Amazon already does pay per use.
But I mean, that's the thing I see with advantage to Amazon, though, is if you are already an Amazon customer and you have a Prime subscription, you get a lot of their TV shows already, a lot of their movies for free. Plus, you can always add on pay-per-use you can buy individual episodes, you can buy season passes, you can buy individual movies, rent movies even. There's a lot of different options, and I don't know how. Honestly, I don't really see how Redbox can break into doing something like that.
Because it's already a name everybody else knows.
But I think the reason they're so popular is that you can just go out and
Spend
instantly get the
$1.
DVD and just spend $1. If you know if it's going to move to subscription, then you feel like you have to get movies.
I've never done it, and I go to McDonald's at least 10 times a week.
Well, see, when I lived in Ames, we lived right next to the McDonald's, which had a Redbox. I would go down there and rent 2 DVDs at a time and watch them both that night. But then I would only do that every 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah,
So-
Redbox. I'm with Pat. I mean, I would probably like Redbox. It's great because it's cheap as hell.
I mean, one of the nice things about Redbox is you can get them and you can keep it as long or as short as you want, really.
Yeah.
And it's
You
just
pay
$1 a
extra
night.
for every night you have it, don't you?
Right, it's $1 a night.
And they have
But-
Blu-ray, which Pat just said as well.
Yeah. I mean, the thing I could see that Redbox actually doing well to break into this market is if they were to get first-run DVDs on their streaming service,
Yeah.
which nobody has right now, basically. Unless you pay per use on Amazon or something like that.
Unless Redbox is offering me something that Netflix and Amazon Prime and Hulu combined don't already, I have no incentive to use whatever web thing that they concoct.
Right. Yeah. So, I guess speaking of movies, I wanted to put this on here, but Fast and Furious 6 is coming out.
I don't know anything about it. I'm gonna lean back. I haven't even seen
Fast 5?
5.
Or 4.
Okay, so I would say Fast 5 was okay, but I watched the trailer for Fast 6 and it looks ridiculous.
Ridiculous awesome or ridiculous bad?
Actually, it was
Ridiculous.
Yeah, ridiculous. I mean, it was there were CG effects that you could see in it that just looked totally out of place. But on the other hand, they do have all the original people in it. So
Yeah, I think to kind of fill Madden or anyone else who doesn't know, I guess their kind of push for this movie is vehicle warfare. They're taking vehicles and applying it to like urban warfare. I think one scene in the trailer was they took down
Vigilante 8 and Death Race.
It's totally Call of Duty for Fast and Furious.
They took down an airplane on a runway from taking off. They like crashed it by shooting harpoons into it and driving it over. Like
yes.
So ridiculous.
This actually sounds delightful. I want to see this.
I mean, it took a different turn.
I'm all about the movie being completely ridiculous. I mean, I love Snakes on a Plane. That movie was hilarious.
So, I mean, as realistic as someone
Only
pulling
if The
a
Rock
plane.
is in it, Pat says.
He
Only
is
if The Rock is in it,
actually
he carries
in
a 2x4 or a 4x4.
I'm not sure he carries a 4x4, but he's totally in it. I mean, as much as I believe you could totally have a car pull a plane out of the sky, I really don't think that it could.
The amount of lift that airplane generates can lift more than one or two cars.
Does anybody know off the top of their head how much lift like a 777 is generating at takeoff?
We could Google it. And we even if you're under the assumption that it was fully loaded, there's still a huge factor of safety, so it's still going to be able to take off.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, you see, like, the Army transport things, those things carry tanks. There's no way.
Those things
Multiple
are also the
tanks.
size of football fields.
No, that's what this was.
That's
this
what
was
the
a
size of this is.
plane.
Oh, it was one of
Big
those?
plane.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a massive airplane. They like they shot harpoons into its wings or something and just turned it into the ground. And
Well, okay, maybe if they harpooned a wing and like pulled it on one side down.
Maybe
I don't
if
know.
they pulled a flap off or something, but I don't see any way. I want to see if I can find
there's a lot of maybes and what ifs.
Oh.
I mean, I still don't see. Wow.
I wish Pat could talk. He'd help me defend the surface against it. But, yeah, the
Yeah, thumbs up.
That's good enough. What else is on here?
I don't know. I think we're really,
I'm still
we're really
getting
kind of.
mine.
You're
Don't
still
know,
getting
talk
a
more about
surface. There we go.
Well, man, there's Pat. All right, Jerry. Let's hear what you think about the Surface besides. And wait, Jerry's argument so far has been, it sucks.
I never said it sucks.
Oh
I said I
my
like my iPad
god.
better.
So, okay, so here's from the trailer. This is a site asking, could the Fast and Furious airplane stunt really happen?
Is it on Snopes?
It's on cinemablend.com.
Okay.
It says, you might have noticed that the plane in the spot is way, way bigger than anything you've flown in. That's because it's a C-5 Galaxy,
Yeah.
one of the largest aircraft in the world. Capable of flying with nearly 420 tons of weight on board. And it can, according to the fact sheet, can carry a fully equipped combat-ready military unit to any point in the world on short notice and then provide the supplies required to help sustain the fighting force.
Meaning
But-
vehicles and food and weaponry.
But in the world of Fast and Furious 6, it's no match for Dom Toretto and his team. Yeah, I don't see that one happening in real life.
That's fine.
No, I'm pretty sure even if they hooked just one wing, you could just turn and lift those cars off the ground.
I mean, I agree. If like maybe some miracle they shot this like magical harpoon through a critical component or something, maybe. But
It took out all the ailerons on the one wing.
it could probably still take off. It just might look really, really funny.
Yeah. So the movie looks ridiculous.
Okay,
Yes.
I think we've established that.
I guess
about-
overall it's going to have fast cars and hot women, and that's probably all you need to know.
And explosions.
Yeah.
That's all you need in a movie, isn't it?
What about? Yeah, that's all Jerry wants to watch. Heaven forbid we watch a good movie like Lord of the Rings. There's no fast cars or hot women in Lord of the Rings, according to Jerry.
No, there's actually slow walking trees because everything is slow in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Nothing fast.
What about this THQ breakup? I know I'm switching gears. Who cares about this? I care about this.
Well, I guess the biggest thing is their upcoming games that they're going to be releasing.
But what do you mean they? They're not they anymore.
Well, what THQ had been looking to produce in the future here.
So does anybody remember what got sectioned off where?
I think the link actually takes you to it, but I guess the basic of the story is THQ went bankrupt and they ended up selling off their assets at auction, which basically they sold off everybody who, as far as I understand, they developed the games, but I believe THQ as a publishing house has remained as itself.
Who got? All I really care about is who got Homeworld.
So here we go. Relic Entertainment got Company of Heroes, Warhammer, or Relic Entertainment, the group Relic Entertainment, which is responsible for Company of Heroes and Warhammer, went to Sega.
And I think Relic is who had the...
Correct.
I think Relic had the Homeworld license.
So
nothing is mentioned about Homeworld in any of the sales.
Those bastards.
So if Sega apparently can't afford the $26.6 million, it's apparently going to go to ZeniMax, who, as many people know, own also id Software and Bethesda.
And doesn't Wired and all that shit fall in there somewhere too?
Wired?
Isn't it? Who's? No, that's Condé Nast, or however you say their name.
I have no idea who you're talking about.
I'm rambling like a crazy person. Don't pay attention to me.
The other is the other things that they dumped off was Evolve, which is a new property from Turtle Rock Studios, who apparently is co-creators of Left 4 Dead.
Yes.
Was purchased by Take-Two Interactive. I'm not really sure what they've done or if they were planning on doing anything.
Okay, yeah, never mind. I don't know why I thought that.
The Homefront IP was purchased by Crytek.
Not Homefront. Homeworld.
Yeah, I don't care about Homeworld. I'm telling you about Homefront. And let's see, publishing rights for South Park was purchased by Ubisoft.
Oh, I forgot about that.
And then THQ Montreal was also purchased by Ubisoft.
Okay, so on the Homeworld 3 Wikipedia or Wikia page, with the bankruptcy of THQ and the reported sale of Relic Studios to Sega, one can hope that Relic will be free to pursue the Homeworld IP now that it is held by a financially stable corporation. Like, basically, for the past
Sega
however long
stable?
you had Relic, they had been hinting at a Homeworld 3. Like, the developers would joke about it, and I don't know if it was just, them making jokes, or if people were actively working on it but just not talking about it. So, hopefully, if it's held by somebody stable, we get a third one. I want it anyway. Pat, yeah, the stick.
I don't know. I've never actually played Homeworld, so I can't really comment on if I would want to play it or not. But
awesome.
I mean, I think some of the biggest titles that are going to be coming out is Metro 2033 Last Light, though, from them.
Well, that's not going to go away. That's a huge title.
Well, and I mean, obviously, THQ isn't actually developing it. They're going to be publishing it. It's, A4 Games or something like that that's actually doing it. So hopefully stuff that is going to be published by them outside of the South Park one, it sounds like, is going to be kind of taken care of for the most part.
Yeah.
And should still plan on coming out. Is Matt's haircut a plus?
A++. Would cut again.
A++ would watch again.
What about the Oculus Rift? Nobody said anything about this yet. This is like my favorite piece of technology.
Well, that's because I don't care.
I care. How do you not care? Are you an idiot?
I don't know what I would use it for, I guess, is my answer. I mean, it's kind of a stopgap until we get something better.
Everything's a stopgap until we get something better.
Well, yeah, but the Oculus Rift, the original concept we saw a year ago, was literally ski glasses held together with duct tape.
Yeah, but you've seen the press demos of the guys putting it on, and the first things they say are, holy fucking shit.
Did you pre-order one, Matt?
No.
I mean, I won't disagree that it doesn't look awesome and it has potential.
The game support is what I'm worried about.
Right. The game support's right now not there. Plus, do I really want to spend another $300 or however much this thing is going to cost
Jerry?
on another accessory for my computer games?
Yeah, I would.
I don't know. For computer games, that's going to be like
Mirror's Edge.
one or two games.
I'm throwing it up here. Would I be buying a $300 new monitor, or would I be buying the $300 Oculus Rift so I can experience Mirror's Edge and actually puke when I'm playing the game?
But your $300 monitor would work with every game. Your $300 Oculus Rift would only work with Mirror's Edge.
In my eyes, that's worth $300. It's a $300 experience.
And see, if Matt buys it, we can just all use it.
No, fuck you. Hardware is a service. I'm charging you rent for it.
I would pay to rent that shit. I'll give you $2 a week.
$2 a week? That's awful.
$2 a month? I can keep going lower.
Yeah, $2 for unlimited use.
I'm with Pat. It's all about the experience.
Yeah, I would really have to try it out. I mean, it could be something that I would be willing to pay $300 for if it was really good. I mean, right now I don't know. We haven't really seen it out in the wild. I have not done any demos.
Oh, let's try mine.
Once you get yours, let me try it, and I will.
Pat lives in Agony, so you could just walk over and try it.
There you go.
If they buy a house in Agony. Mm-hmm.
Well, he'll be in Johnston, or, close enough anyway.
Oh my god, say our real addresses.
Oh! Send mail to Matt at...
No. Come on now. You can find it easily just by searching my name, I'm pretty sure.
Fan mail for the CouncilCast.
Yeah, Matt's their favorite character.
If your favorite character is Matt.
Alright, I don't know what else to talk about here.
You can send an email to Matt.
I could give you the review of my mouse that I bought, but it pretty much just consists of, it's good.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, yeah, there you go.
I have the same one.
Anthony has it. I want to know what you think of it, Anthony.
I actually like it. The reason I bought it, Matt actually turned me onto it, but if you like looking at the profile of this, I had before this an Ideas on Razor, and I believe that's what it's called. And it almost has the exact same profile as this, completely different company, but I was very used to this kind of grip and style of mouse that I wanted something to replace it, and I was going to go to the Razer Mamba, which basically everybody has that I know, but it just didn't feel the same. And I found this one, looked at, like I said, the profile of it, and it looked almost identical, so I was like, yes, I want it.
Gotcha. I am actually using a G5 myself, so...
I assume Pat was talking about the Mamba sucking, not
yes.
Rocket.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I think it's good. The only downfall I can see with it is it has two thumb buttons on the side, except the one is used as a shift key. So
it doesn't have to be. You can reset that.
Can you remap it for in-game?
Yeah, I have them all remapped. I don't use it as a shift key. I have
Whatever happened to default to back and forward?
Because one of the big features of it is the easy shift mode.
Yeah.
That being, you press this, and then all your other buttons can perform a different function.
Yeah.
But
So
I
it's-
have no use for that in FPSs.
Well, and
Yeah.
instead of forward and back with the 2 thumb buttons, like when you're web browsing, you hit shift and you hit left and right click for forward and back.
That sounds like a lot of extra work.
So I rebound it to IE forward and IE back.
That's what I would do.
I
too.
need to. I haven't done that yet, but that would be my only. Like, they really push the easy shift, and like it's so awesome, but for me, it's almost a waste of a button. Like, I like the idea, but I don't really utilize it as such.
You'd like it if you had a lot more commands to perform.
Exactly.
And if you buy their keyboard with it, if you buy one of the keyboards, there's I think it's the Rocat or Rocket, however you pronounce their name.
I think it's Rocket.
Yeah, they call it. It's like the talk functionality of it. You can use a key on the keyboard to make like the easy shift go or something. I think it does some other stuff too. I don't really know. It's stuff I'm not interested in. The only reason I bought the mouse was shape, weight, and it had enough buttons, and it didn't.
Yeah.
And the reviews said it was
size.
fairly good quality.
And the size for your hand.
Yeah, my hand is big enough that I wanted a mouse the same size or bigger than my Mamba was.
The only question is, will it work on my new mouse pad or not?
Yeah. It works fine on every surface that I've used it on.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, my mouse
Even
did
on the
not
mouse
work.
pad that your mouse didn't work with. What's that say about your mouse?
It says that mouse pad sucks balls.
No.
That's what I say. My new one's perfect. It comes with a fancy carrying case. Even.
Anthony, are you testing out Pat's ice mat?
I am. I mean, I'm just trying to get a feel for a different surface. I think it works just fine.
The ice
I
mat
have-
is frosted glass.
No, I know.
What WTF when you?
As
I did
Anthony
not
slowly
authorize.
sneaks it back across the
Yeah.
aisle.
Wasn't me.
Just turn my webcam here quick.
I know nothing. Yeah, I guess I don't really have too much else. My cat's gonna leave my room again, so. I guess unless you guys wanted to hit on the Super Bowl real quick, but
I watched it, but I didn't care.
did you notice the lights going out at all?
Well, how could you
The
not?
light- the lights went out?
It
did
actually
that happen?
happened. We went to a restaurant to go out to eat, and we came back to that like.
No, we went to Hy-Vee to get some red.
Oh, is that what happened? That's
It
right.
wasn't
That's what
Hy-Vee,
it
it
was.
was Target.
Target, whatever.
Yeah, we saw the commercial for the red apple ale, and we went to Target because that was the only place that was open that should have it.
Consumerism.
And,
Capitalism.
Yeah, and so we saw the ad for it, went to Target, and the guy at checkout said, "Did you guys see the ad?" And
That's
we all
kinda
started laughing
creepy.
and said, "Yeah." I asked if if a lot of people had been coming in and buying it because of the ad. He said, "No, I just saw it on break."
Yeah,
No, but it's pretty good.
the red. for
Yep.
the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it was really good.
Red. Screw the Super Bowl. Red's better.
It's right here. Red's Apple Ale. It's fantastic. I think is it Miller doing the brewing for it?
I think that's what you
I've
said.
never tried that, but I've wondered if it was any good. I've
It's-
seen it before.
It's pretty good. I think Pat generally liked it. I don't. He didn't like the Angry Orchard I had at the at Buffalo Wild Wings. He said that was too sweet.
Pat did. Pat gives it a.
That gives the thumbs up.
2 thumbs up, just 1 thumb up. 1 thumb up, 1 thumb down. No.
Oh.
Well, I think that pretty much covers it for this week.
Yeah, I think we've exhausted all the good stuff.
That we
Yeah.
got through pretty well.
I'd say if anybody else has any other questions or future ideas for this podcast, feel free to comment on the post.
Actually,
We are-
the best items to talk about are at the bottom, but I don't know that they're really appropriate.
we'll cover them in our bullshit section for next week. So
We didn't have a bullshit section this week, or is Jerry the bullshit section?
that's true. We could have just put a giant steaming pile of shit over his face. And it would have worked.
Aren't you so glad you're here.
Yes, I love all of you guys.
Yeah. Stop being such an Apple fanboy, and we'd leave you alone.
Next week we'll have Pat on, and Jerry will not be here instead. So,
will John be here?
I don't know. I don't know when John gets back from vacation. Yeah, he'll be back.
So yeah, we'll have to talk about those topics when John's here.
I think John kind of spearheaded a lot of those. So, but yeah, I guess unless you guys have anything else, we'll go ahead and sign off, and we'll see everybody next week.
Maybe. If I don't die during the Kansas State game.
So true. Well, have a good night.
Yeah.